Hey everybody, so I'm back again and I've got another strategic game, and this time we're playing on the lowlands. I think this is the first time I've showed you this map. Not too sure. We're playing against Lord Pendragon. Now this is a game, I'm just going to reveal it from the front. I actually lose it, but I thought it was a pretty good loss, so I was going to show it to you anyway. Haven't showed you any losses so far, but I assure you I lose quite a bit. And it's all a giant learning experience. Like, when somebody beats you, if they've got a better army than you, then you can learn from that army, and you can maybe even copy it in some ways to use it to your advantage. And if they use better micro, then you can just understand how they've done that and improve it. Because micro is very big in this game, and you need to be quite fast and able to use it. Now, let me just pause this game. And so yeah. Let me just show you my army. I have three white bears. I have 3 red bears. I have 2 matchlock catchy as my meat shield, and then I have my general's bodyguard. And as you can see here, since I haven't swapped my avatar, it is the traditional Shogun 2 avatar. So they kind of need to patch that. And then on either side, I still have my Yari key. For a while, you won't be seeing me like not take Yariki, because I always have cavalry. It's personally my thing. I love cavalry, and it's my clan's speciality as well. I'm with the Heir of Carthage fans. I'm a big fan of his. I watch all his videos, so I'm in his fan club, and I just play games and stuff. So so he has my opponent. If I pause this, there we go. Let's see what he has quickly. He has 2 white tiger force here, and they're extremely vetted. Well, these 2 are. Oh no, just that one. Sorry. He has 1 infantry de marine, which is wow, 9-star. He has 1 black bear. He's got 2 black bears. They don't look like black bears. Oh, okay. From afar, they look like white bears. And he has 2 black bears there, and then he's got some Armstrong guns, and he has 2 Yari key, I think, unvetted. So firepower wise, he may have 2 white tiger force, but he does have this infantry de marine and 2 black bears. So a 9 chevron infantry de marine, yeah, watch out for them. They're going to be super powerful. 150 range and very accurate. So I don't think I got a good chance to scout his army before I played. So my plan is, so far from what I can remember, is I need to capture the key buildings as always. But as you can see, I'm having quite a lot of trouble trying to get my troops, so kind of scrambling to get to any sort of cover. I knew that seeing as my opponent had Armstrong guns, I have to take them out, as well as I need to get my troops to cover. Now, when you have your troops in the woods, it sort of makes the Armstrong guns less effective, because sometimes the shots bounce off the trees or explode on the trees, so it stops some of your men from dying. As you can see here, I've been running around my general like crazy, so he's just sitting there now. Lost quite a bit of men here, maybe about 10. Oh, lost some white bears. That was not good. But so far, my opponent, he's not really making good use there. There was a good shot. Oh, that one hit. My opponent's not really making that good use of his Armstrong gun so far. He's hit 2 of my units so far that I can see that I've really damaged them. But the other seems to be fine. But then again, he is slowly whittling away. Now he does have his cavalry advantage is not as good as mine. But then again, he does have this leader here, so if I choose to engage them on a head-to-head Yari fight, I would probably lose, even though I do have vets. I have 2 Yariki here with 2 chevrons each, so that in a 1-to-1 combat fight, or 2v2 here, they would win. But with a 8-star general, that's not going to be possible. As you can see here, he's using his white tiger force to sort of block off any of my troops. Now these are still throwaway units. I don't know why he has a completely vetted up one here. He could have taken something better than a white tiger force. I don't know how much Koku that would cost him, depending on his upgrades. Look, a nice little view on this guy. Is wearing like a lab coat sort of thing. I don't know, it's kind of weird. So, I think what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get to his Armstrong guns with my cavalry. And really, what I should be doing is I should probably be taking them into this unit here. This is his most expensive unit, and it's going to cost him, oh, I don't know, more than 2,000 Koku if he's put so many traits on it that they've actually got the abilities to match 9 chevrons. Because what I do with mine is, seeing as I have mine are like 7 or 8 now, but they're they're um, they're like 8 chevron, but they don't have any upgrades past level 5. So as soon as you give them the increased range, I stopped, because then if you give them any more, they'll become so expensive that they won't be worth it. And as you can see here, I made a fundamental error. I charged my cav through and lost about 7 or 8 of them. So as you can see, this unit here has pretty much been cut down to 14 men already, and this man has already been cut down to like 17. So, as well as I think I lost the cavalry engagement on this side. Yep, my cavalry are gone. So at this point, he has a cavalry advantage, a firepower advantage, and he still has artillery. So I'm pretty much a goner from here on out. And I know at this point that I need to sort of take down anything I can get, maybe cause some havoc. I think I take my cavalry. Where have they gone? Where have my cavalry gone? They're somewhere here. I think they're maybe mixed in with my troops. So I have no idea where my cavalry's going. Ah, here, there. Sorry, they're here. They're sort of threatening this side, because I know he still has his guys. So at this point, I know that I need to take out his firepower, and a head-on fight was stupid. But I had no other choice. I couldn't do anything else. I can't flank because I don't have that much cavalry. And as you can see here, his Armstrong gun is completely ripping to shreds any of my gun units. As you can see here, like 9 units in one shot. And then here you go, look, he's just destroying all of these units. And with his infantry de marine, he's always going to get the first shot from me. But if I use all my gun power on one unit, if I'm pressing it, I can already been cut down to 35. But now he has his black bears firing onto my men, and he's shooting with his like heavy force. Didn't really matter to him. So at this point, I move up my depleted red bear infantry, and I end up just shooting a whole load of my men. Another error on my part, because I didn't realize that I'd taken out his Yarky. So a lot of errors I made, but this was a long time ago. I was quite bad back then. These are sort of late by maybe a week or two, so not that long ago. And I finally make a good Yarky charge into his Armstrong guns, taking him out of the fight. I'll have a look after and I'll show you how much kills they got, but as you can see, that'll just rout my and they're not going to be doing too much damage. It's now 8 men, so this black bear infantry though hasn't even been touched. This black bear infantry has kind of been touched, and still has these 2 men. So at this point, it's not looking too good for me. Firepower wise, he absolutely outgunned. He still has 4 good units versus, well, 3 gun units and my general's bodyguard, who's just getting absolutely shot to pieces. As you can see here, he's already been reduced to 3 men. Can't believe he's not wavering yet. And as you can see here, that just puts an end to all of my troops. So that's pretty much this battle over. Got some nice, oddly coloured green men here. His general still survived in one piece. Fundamentally, he did what I think is the most prioritized rule ever, is keep your general safe.
From the battlefield,
it applies for both traditional and Shogun, Follow the Samurai Shogun, because your general, he can inspire your troops, he keeps their morale up, and he can even inspire fear in the enemy. So he's very, very important. And if he dies, there's a good chance you're going to win unless the enemy's already got you. So if you can ever kill their general, do it. So what I did wrong in this match, too much fooling around with cavalry, shot my own cavalry, and I didn't bring the same sort of firepower army to face against him. If I maybe had some black bears, I would have done a lot better. That infantry and marine unit would have been killed a lot faster. He didn't make too good use of it, I think, in my opinion. As well as, if I'd done a little bit better with my cavalry, I could have brought them back round the side and then taken out his Armstrong guns. And his Armstrong guns, they were the one that probably broke my army. If I had my 3 red bears and my 3 white bears and my 2 matchlock catchy slightly intact, they could have maybe taken him. So I don't know. So as you can see here from the stats, I lost a lot more men than I killed. This white bear infantry, I killed 32. It was probably the best I got. And as you can see here, These Armstrong guns, how much kills? Yeah, see, they got 98 kills, double anything I got. But as you can see here, they were very vetted up. His infantry and marine were so experienced. But there we have it. So that's one replay. This time I am going to show you another one. For the past two videos, I've had issues with the other replays. They haven't been that good. So if you bear with me, I'm just going to show you another battle replay. So let's see. That was the. I can't remember which one we just watched. Oh, we'll watch this one. So this is on the Saruki Ria. I've said this map before. I know I have, and I've said it wrong. And I'm against somebody called Kempel, with a face. I'm imagining a sort of wide open face. So on this map, it's sort of like trees on each side. Looks like a face. I think I played this in my last video. I actually showed you a replay from this. So we'll see how it goes. I'm pretty sure key buildings are all on the far sides, and then one in the middle. So, oh yes, okay. So this is the first match I had when I could use my parrot guns. I just unlocked them, and I knew just what I was gonna do. So here's my plan. I have my up and going force of. I have a Shogun infantry, which is 2 chevrons. I have 2 Yariki, one with 3 chevrons, one with 2. I have another Yariki here. I have less Yariki this time, for once. I have 2 matchlock Kachi solely to protect this, and they're not even going to be that useful in this match, I don't think. And then I have my infantry and marine that are 4-star at this point, and they're fully black. I didn't change my color scheme for ages, by the way. I didn't really feel the need to. I just wanted to play some games. And then I have black bear, black bear, black bear, 3 black bears. So my idea was to lure my opponent into this sort of basin bit. Now, unfortunately, for firing on this map, it's really weird. You'd probably want to be taking a position here because there's so many bumps. Now, my opponent, let's see what he has. And perfectly, my opponent, he brought like sort of an old-fashioned type army. He's got 2 katana kachi on this side. He has a yariki. He has 1, 2, 3 bokachis. He's got 1 white bear and 1 black bear, and then he has 1 katana kachi. So he's got 4 katana kachi. There's another one, and then he's got a spear levy. I don't think he's got any vetted up troops. His general's slightly vetted. That's about it. So as you can see here, he's got this key building pretty much. So he's going to be able to capture this quite fast. Okay, I don't want this is a workshop. Increases the armor and melee defense. So yeah, he's definitely going to have needed that. And as you can see here, my parrot guns are firing ahead. Didn't really do much damage there. They killed what, 2 people. But they'll get some bear shots later on. And as you can see here, I'm trying to target his white bears and black bears, which was the good idea because when you're using artillery, you want to target their most expensive units. Taking out their most expensive units is fundamental because the more firepower you can take down from them, the less firepower they're going to be throwing back at you. So as you can see here, I've already managed to knock back this white bear infantry, 19 men, taking down some of this bokachi. Yeah. So he's going to be capturing this building, or he should be capturing this building in a minute. I assume so, unless he was quite stupid, because he is sitting right in front of it. He's also going to be able to capture this, which is the sword dojo, which has no real... oh, his Yariki is around here, which has real no benefit for me. So I know he only has 1 Yariki, which is, in my opinion, quite bad, because when you have cavalry, you should at least take 2. At least give you a chance to win a cavalry fight on one side, because I don't think many people bring more than 2 cavalry for each side. Some people bring a lot on one side, and some people will even bring 5 or 6 units of cav. But if they do that on Shogun 2, that means you're going to have a major disadvantage on the firepower and gunpowder side. So I know what he's trying to do with his cavalry. He's trying to destroy my parrot guns, and that's why I brought my matchlock Kachi, because now he's trying to sort of cunningly come all the way around here just to get in, and I realize he's doing that. It's quite obvious, so I'm going to form this sort of shape to stop any cav charge from getting into my parrot guns. And while they do that, they're just still going to fire He's not moving any of his troops. If he rushed my army, he maybe like had a chance. But so far he's not really doing anything to sort of show that. His white bear infantry has almost been knocked down to 100 men. His black bear infantry, which I should be targeting actually, has lost no men so far. But then again, his black bear won't match up to any of my men, because seeing as I do have some shogunate infantry. You do get imperial infantry, which is exactly the same, and that's what I use because they look so much cooler than the shogunate infantry. So yeah. So at this point, I've taken out his cavalry. You didn't really need to see that. Basically, I just swarmed him with 2 cavalry and just destroyed him. I lost 3 men out of that encounter. So when you have Yariki behind enemy lines, the morale's only going to be steady, and 2 cav charges will just take them out completely. So all these dead bodies, they're pretty much just my opponent's cav. And now that his cavalry's died, he knows he has to push me. So he is pushing me forward. He's pushing forwards, and he's going to try and get me. And another fundamental rule: see your general. He has an aura around him, and that aura is basically how he affects morale and stuff. So basically, I can't really show it to you, but there will be like a blue circle, and that shows you the influence that your general is passing to your men. My opponent, he's not moving his general. He is now. I don't know what he's doing. But he's now moving his general slightly. Oh, look, here we go. That blue circle here, that represents your general's aura of sort of keeping their morale strong. And as you can see here, I have him in the middle, so I can move him to left or right, depending on what. And now, as you can see here, my men are in range, but they won't fire at the enemy because of these dips, which is a fundamental rule I myself did wrong in this, and it was stupid because it gives my opponent the first shots, for one, because I have to walk into him. And he has this bow kachi here. They can fire over hills, so terrain advantage, oh, great. If I was him, I'd be picking at this infantry marine, because look how close his men are. But he's taking this on this ridge, and my infantry marine, I think they'll manage to get a fire off on these bow kachi, because they should be able to be seen. Oh, maybe not. Oh, there we go. So, as you can see here, his bow kachi are firing on my men. My infantry marine's already lost, like 10 men, I suppose. And what he hasn't realized is that now that he has no cav, I can do as I wish with mine. So I take a nice little charge right into his bokachi, but he does have his general's unit firing at my my Yariki, and I know that I have to take out his general, but I'm going to try and cause as much havoc. These Boki, they don't have very good morale, so along the center, he's pretty much lost already. This Bokachi just routed, with like just 20 men being taken from him. And now that I have my men, my Yariki behind his men, it's going to cause their morale to waver slightly. And I know that I need to take out his general, so I take in another charge here. My men are wavering there, but they managed to come back, and they're just going to wipe out this general's bodyguard, seeing as they have the Yari. And now, as you can see here, he's charging his Katana Kachi into my Shogun infantry. They will just straight out beat my Shogun infantry if I didn't make this move here. I decided to use my Yari key to just hammer and anvil that unit, and then it caused my Shogun infantry to survive without taking many losses, and now they can continue the fight. As you can see, this is just how close my units are because of this line of sight, and they're not doing that well actually. They're losing horribly. These units only lost around 25 men. My guys are down to 50 already, so they're doing terrible. And really, I should just take my Yariki straight into the men. But now I have my Matchlock Kachi, and I've still got my Shogun infantry that should be firing. I kind of wanted to reposition them a bit further up. But they're not really doing that much. And as you can see here, my power guns, they should be still firing. Yep, they're still firing. And so, at this point, his general still lives. I think I managed to take him out here. I really should be taking this Yariki and putting them right into it. My infantry marines, they're doing nothing still. This is just how poor my line of sight was on the enemy. It was a really bad and wrong move of me to not just take up this position at the start. If I had this position, I would have a really good line of sight on the enemy. But cavalry was crucial in this part. And now, as you can see, seeing as my units are higher up on this side, my Matchlock Kachi, they're firing, then they're doing something. My Shogun infantry, they're still not doing anything. And for my general, I really haven't moved him at all because I haven't needed him yet. And at this point, it looks like I've lost because the center is completely dominated by his Bokachi. And that's... If I was him, I'd be taking that advantage now to finish off my infantry marine and move his men round to sort of finish off my men. But as you can see here, he let his general die foolishly, and see these two Yoriki, they will just wipe out all of these men. There's Katana Kachi here, but they're just gonna get out swamped by this unit. You can see here, look, they've already lost 20 men on the charge itself, so I'm taking them out and I'm sort of hammer and anviling them because I'm not gonna keep my cavalry in the fight. They will lose. But if I take them out and fire again, then they'll do fine. And now I have my last Matchlock Kachi, and that they're gonna sort of hold off these guys. My power guns, I think they ran out of ammunition. And as you can see here, another hammer and anvil. Not to the backs of him, which is really what hammer and anvil is, but you know, the point is I'm taking my cavalry out and charging in again, because it causes more devastation as you get a cavalry charge bonus. And as you can see here, they're already down to almost 50 men. They were 100 and something when I first charged in the first time. So at this point, I'm just sort of leading my Matchlock Kachi around them. I've completely dominated this side. I actually managed to bring my troops right around. My Shogun infantry got some shots off on this black bear, just took it out of the fight. This spear levy, it didn't do too well as well. So at this point, I've completely won, and his units just rout. So good game to my opponent. It was a costly victory on my behalf, but it was the first time I used power guns. They were okay. They were actually quite good. What I did wrong was I didn't move my troops up to the ridge, which would have caused me to have a better victory, maybe a decisive one. Because my opponent, he could have beat me flat out if he was to control his troops a little bit better, maybe keep his spear units closer to my cavalry. But yeah, so that was the second battle I've shown you, and I hope you've liked them. I'll show you the unit stats quickly. I don't know how long these games have been going on for, and I don't know how long I have to render this video for. But I hope you enjoyed that, and I hope the strategic tips have helped you a little bit. Like, as a player myself, whenever I watch somebody's video, I always look out for tips, as well as when I'm playing. I always look at the army. I always look how my opponent likes to play. Now, sometimes your opponent could be flat out stupid. He'll just bring an army which is not going to do anything. But my style of playing is that whenever I don't know what I'm going to be up against, I will bring what I call a balanced army. And that army should be good at defeating most types of armies, just because they have a little bit of everything. So they're balanced. That wasn't really a balanced army there, but you get my gist, because if you've seen in all my games, I seem to bring cavalry, my main contingent of guns or swords, and then on the traditional I always have meat shields, and as you saw there I had artillery, which was my support. So a good game to my opponent. I deployed less men than him, and I killed more, but I lost quite a bit as well. So we look at the unit stats here. My infantry and marine, they did awful. That was the worst probably time I've used them ever. They were already weak itself, 79 men, and they all died. My bodyguard, he killed 15 people. Oops, sorry about that. And my 3 black bears, they didn't do much at all either. My Shogun infantry did really well. They managed to kill 176 men, and my Yariki, which is fundamental to my game, because they managed to take out pretty much all the bows. Sorry about that again. And my 2 Matchlock Kachi. This one here didn't even take any losses and killed 33 men, which was quite good. And my power guns killed 184 men. Very successful. First time using it, it was good. And as you can see here, my opponent, he got a lot of kills with his black bear infantry, but his bow Kachi, apart from this one, which did really well, and I lost 2 men, so I don't know how they didn't stay in the fight, but that just shows you how poor the morale is. So anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this commentary. I'll be back to bring you some more, and I hope those tips helped you.